20p. And I'm applying full court pressure, baby. Understand me. Understand? Let's go. Man, I must be blind, I don't see no D. Posted with the squad, come see about me. Hands up in the air now. Wave 'em round like you really don't care now. Put that ball up in my hand, you know I'm scoring. Man, I know I'm so above the rim, I must be Jordan. Or I must be Kobe, or Alonzo in the morning. Or I know they snoring, about to wake 'em out the coma. Cause I'm applying full court pressure, baby. Understand me, full court pressure, baby. Understand, cause it started all the way from the ground, I know.
Welcome to Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC here on Sports Talk Today, the team. I'm your host, Thompson, checking with you tonight live. We are basically talking basketball and hoops for the next 2 hours here on the show tonight, and we talk about everything for more than just the Orlando Magic with some of the best teams, beat writers, bloggers from anywhere across the country, and tonight's no exception. Our good friend Paul Coro from the Arizona Central Republic will be on in about 15 or so minutes. But besides Paul coming on the show tonight, I got to introduce my two co-hosts, the guys that have always been running this pick and roll, bob and weave team that we've had for a long time. Looking in front of me right now is the editor-in-chief of NBAFCPRadio.com, Paul Myers. Paul, how you doing, my friend?
Yo, always glad to be here, man.
And calling in from the city of brotherly love, he is the social media manager of Full Court Press Radio and also our resident draft expert and Sixers fan, my main man, Marc Johnson.
Shoot, I'm good. Everything's good right now.
And we finally got PJ Close back in the studio representing Philadelphia as well. So, Paul, we got two Philly guys on the show tonight. So I don't think we can make as many bad Sixers jokes as we always do.
Nah, it doesn't matter. They're that bad. You can joke about them the entire show. I don't care where you're from. If you're from Philly, I mean, you could live right down the street from the arena. You don't really have anything to say back. They're just that bad. However, they have improved since getting Ish Smith, so that was a good pickup.
Yeah, Ish Smith was a very, very good pickup. And before we go into Ish Smith, guys, did you hear about the potential trade that was pretty much nixed by the Atlanta Hawks right before the deadline? And we're going to talk a lot about the deadline as well, too. The major trade would have been Dennis Schroeder going to the Philadelphia 76ers for the aforementioned Ish Smith, as well as a first-round draft pick this year, as well as two other players, Jakar Sampson, who was waived, and another player to be named later. Guys, if you're Atlanta, would you have made that trade?
Go ahead, Marc.
No. I wouldn't have made the trade because I think they should have traded Jeff Teague and made Schroeder the starter, sign him to a deal for less money, than what he's going to command if he gets on the court and plays a lot of games. So you could have kind of killed that one. It wasn't a good trade for Atlanta. They stood pat. I really don't know what to say about Atlanta. They're just kind of a, middle-of-the-road franchise, and they'll be that way forever, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't okay, I'm kind of with Marc. If I'm going to trade one of the point guards, it probably would have been Teague. I think his value was higher. And then you got to look at the contract situation with Schroeder. I don't know, man. Honestly, I would have got rid of one of them. One of them would have been traded, if you ask me. And you guys know I'm aggressive when it comes to trade deadline situations, especially if you're not a contender, which I don't think Atlanta is. I didn't think they were last year. I happen to be correct, and they're even worse this year. So for me, I would have made a move for sure.
Well, see, for me with the Atlanta Hawks is that the Sixers, like a lot of teams coming up in the near future, are going to see Dennis Schroeder as a max player.
I can't see that.
He's 22 years old.
It doesn't matter. That puts him in the same boat as Reggie Jackson to me. And we've talked about this a little bit. Reggie Jackson is not, for me, he's a lower level starting point guard if he's a starting point guard. I hesitate to even say that he would start. I mean, I don't think he would start for half the NBA teams.
Ooh, interesting one. I think he does hit half the
if so, it's right at half. I mean, it's not a very high, especially for what he's getting paid. It should be better. I mean, he should be a top 10, 15 point guard, and I don't think he is.
Well, top 10, 15 point guard is one thing. It's like quarterbacks in the NFL. Not every quarterback's a $100 million quarterback, but how many quarterbacks are making $100 million in the NFL right now?
No, absolutely. I agree with that. But this is the thing. Reggie Jackson's getting paid like he is.
Exactly.
So if that's the case, he should be better. I mean, that's the thing. And if you're going to say that Dennis Schroeder, however you'd like to pronounce it, I've heard both. If you're going to give him a max deal, he's got to be better than Reggie Jackson. But I see him producing on the level that Reggie Jackson produces at.
Now, here's the situation with the draft pick. People don't understand that the Sixers were not giving up their draft pick. It either was the Lakers protected pick this year, which is top 3 protected. It was either the Heat pick, which is top 10 protected, or the Thunder pick, which is top 15 protected. I'm pretty sure to get close as they were, I'm sure it was the Lakers pick that was being offered. Now, if it is the Lakers pick that's being offered,
I take it.
If you're Atlanta, or
if I'm Atlanta, absolutely, I take it.
Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, if you're Atlanta, you take it. For Philly, it's bad. I understand what Colangelo's trying to do. He's trying to get away from all this draft mess, and he's trying to get players in there that's actually proven and actually played in the NBA. I get it. Because with the draft, it is a gamble. You could tell, by even offering this pick that he doesn't trust Sam Hinkie. And Sam Hinkie's probably on his way out the door. That's a whole other conversation that I could talk about for 2 hours. But anyway, this is why, Colangelo was trying to get aggressive at the trade deadline to actually get some proven players. I applaud him for that, but dangling, a high draft pick just for Dennis Schroeder, not enough in my opinion. I think Schroeder's going to be a Tristan Thompson-like kind of guy where he's going to put up stats against the bench. But then when you actually really have to start him and play him a lot of heavy minutes, he's not going to do that well. And you'll be like, man, we spent $85 million for what?
Well, see, I don't know if it's the Tristan Thompson situation over again, because for me, when I see Dennis Schroeder, I look at a point guard that is a better version of Rajon Rondo.
No, better.
A better version at this stage of his career. If you go back to Rondo at the same age, and the same skill set, Schroeder is a better NBA player at the same age, at the same level, 2 years into it than Rondo was.
No.
He's a better shooter.
He's a better shooter. I'll give you that. What else?
He can rebound just as good as Rondo, and he has just as good court vision as Rondo. Look at the assist numbers. Look at his numbers per 48 minutes. It's right up there.
I disagree.
Listen, I'm going to need him to give me 82 games. I'm like, Hassan Whiteside gave us 82 games. That's why he's going to get a max deal.
Exactly.
Listen, if you want a max deal, give us the game so we can have some footage or something. Don't just be like potential and he killed the bench. I don't care if you kill the bench. If you have talent, you should always kill the bench.
Well,
come on, cut it out.
Look at the game the other night against Milwaukee. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists.
Right.
But
he saw the same type of thing from Reggie Jackson when he was on the bench for the Thunder.
And look at the numbers he's putting up in Detroit.
He's not killing it.
I mean, he's 17 and about 6.5, 7 assists a game?
I think you're high on that. I'm going to double check.
Well, double check on that one. But here's the thing. With Schroeder, I see a top-notch point guard. I'm not going to say an elite point guard, but he's a top-notch point guard with given the time. Atlanta and everybody else in the league knows that Schroeder has a chance to be a top-flight point guard. That's why Atlanta wasn't going to move Schroeder. It was going to take pretty much a monumental, colossal effort to get him out of Atlanta. The Hawks see this guy as the future, and
Jackson's averaging 19 and 6, which isn't bad.
19 points and 6 assists a game.
3 rebounds, and he's giving you nothing on defense. Shooting percentage, no, I mean, it's okay. Shooting percentage is 44, 3-point percentage 38. So, I mean, he's having a pretty good year. I'll give you that. Now, again, defensively, he's not giving you anything, but he's putting out pretty good numbers.
Mark, how many point guards are actually playing defense in the NBA right now?
Not a lot, but, I mean, the point is, though, he gets to come in fresh against the starters that have already been worn down. He gets to go against the bench unit. I'm going to need him to start a lot of games before you ask for a max deal. It's just, it's not a good formula. Oh, yeah, well, he had 10 starts in his career, but yet we should pay him $85, $90 million. That's just not a good idea. Prove that you're worth it. If you have the talent, go out there and prove it. Atlanta, stop hanging on to Jeff Teague and make a deal.
Well, the Hawks were trying to make a deal for Jeff Teague, but the thing is they're in the middle of a playoff chase right now. So unless you're going to get something that's going to be valuable in exchange for Jeff Teague, you don't move him.
Well, I disagree because we're going to go back to my favorite conversation, contender or pretender. What are they?
They're more than a pretender.
Oh, come on, Dan. Listen, just because you make the playoffs does not make you a contender. All right, so the Hawks are a playoff team, correct?
They're a playoff team.
Are they a contender?
They can get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Are they a contender?
Why not?
Oh, come on.
Anything can happen.
Mark, talk some sense into this
Anything
guy.
can happen in the NBA.
The Hawks are not a contender. So all right, so this is what I consider a contender. Okay. All right, perhaps we have different definitions.
Please do.
All right, you're a contender if A, you can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's first criteria, which, they might be able to do that.
Okay.
Maybe, depending on the matchups.
Okay.
B, win the conference finals. Nope. C, compete in the finals. They don't fit 2 out of those 3, so...
How many teams in the East can compete against the West outside of Cleveland? And Cleveland, in a lot of cases...
Ding, ding, ding.
Cleveland, in a lot of cases, can't do it either.
Cleveland's the only contender in the East.
And I don't think they compete very well with the top 3 in the West.
They're the only contender in the East.
Toronto.
No.
Yes.
They're a borderline contender.
I am drinking the Raptor Kool-Aid.
They are a borderline contender.
And eating the Canadian maple syrup.
And that's why, for me, I felt like Toronto not making a deal was fine. Because they're borderline. They're borderline. Now, I think they should have probably, but I'm okay with them not making a move.
I'm not a big fan of that. Mark, what do you think of that?
I think Toronto was like right there. Like I mean, if a deal was on the table to be made for that team, you make it. They probably didn't have a deal, that was on the table. I mean, really, they would need a power forward. In this case, what power forward, was out there that they could have got, without giving up, a lot in return. They certainly could have talked to Houston. I mean, but Monty Junius failed his physical. We'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could have inquired about Terrence Jones. I mean, it seems like a fire sale in Houston anyway.
I mean, Markieff Morris?
Maybe a team like that's having a fire sale, maybe you could have got a power forward from them, but how better of a power forward could you have gotten than what they have? You would have got kind of the same player, Patrick Patterson, Louis Scola, Terrence Jones, all the same. So
I don't know.
What?
I'm kind of in agreement there. I think Markieff Morris is one of the few exceptions because he was being given away. Ryan Anderson, I don't know. They would have to give back too much, I think, to get him. New Orleans was trying to rob people from Ryan Anderson, and he's going to walk this summer, which, again, is a ridiculous sentiment. I don't understand what these teams did during the trade deadline. I have no idea.
For those who want to check in with us, if you're watching on the computer live, go to www.sportstalkflorida.com. You can see me and Paul in the studio right now. Also, if you're on trying to call in for the show tonight, it is area code 407-482-3776. We're going to open up the call lines in hour number 2. But we're going to take a break here on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns and Markieff Morris, our good friend Paul Coro of the Arizona Central. This is Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC. Right back after the break.
Are you looking to expand your reach and following in all platforms of media? Do you need a jump start in expanding your brand to all markets across the world? SOFO is here for you. SOFO means something for everyone, and they are here to help you expand your business through all platforms of media. Their experienced team is here for you to expand your brand and put you and your business in places that you would have never been before. Check them out at www.sofoellc.com or call 407-607-9862. Follow SOFOELLC on Instagram and Twitter.
Looking for a great place to eat in the College Park area of Orlando? A place to go on special occasions like anniversaries, date nights, or just because moments? Well, Pepe Bistro is the hottest new place to go in Orlando. Pepe features flavors from the Mediterranean as well as Italy, with a full bar and wine menu. Check out their Saturday brunch and live local jazz on Thursday nights. Stop by the Pepe Bistro at 2611 Edgewater Drive at the corner of Edgewater and West Winter Park Street, or give them a call at 407-420-1144 to make reservations.
Parents, do your kids like to run around the house? Do your kids have a nonstop stream of energy? Well, Preschool Sports has a program to help you and your children be able to take that talent and energy and give them an outlet to grow those skills with their brand new track and field program. From ages 2 to 11, Preschool Sports will be able to teach them as individuals and as a team. To sign up or for more information, call 407-463-2061 or check them out at preschoolsports.com. Better hurry, season starts January 10th, 2016.
We are back for Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC on Sports Talk 1080 The Team here in Orlando, and also nationwide here on the TuneIn app as well too, and to our good friends watching us here on SportsTalkFlorida.com as well too, so you can check out the live stream. You see Paul on his laptop right now with his headphones on, and you might be able to see PJ back in the back of the cut, taking callers and screening things. But we're going to hop online on the BMO Harris Bank caller line.